In the northwestern corner of Europe lies a remarkable country that offers a unique blend of modern innovation and historical charm. This country is the Netherlands, which has a population of about 17.7 million people. It is a low-lying nation with much of its land actually below sea level. The Netherlands shares borders with Germany to the east, Belgium to the south, and the North Sea to the northwest. Despite being just 41,850 square kilometers, which makes it one of the smallest countries in Europe, the Netherlands plays a big role in world trade, business, and culture. The capital is the vibrant city of Amsterdam. Located in the western part of the country, Amsterdam is the first stop for most people visiting the Netherlands. The city is famous for its network of canals that form a semicircle around the old city center. These waterways were built in the 17th century and are now protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Alongside the canals stand beautiful old houses with narrow fronts and decorative tops. These aren't just pretty buildings. They tell the story of Amsterdam's wealthy trading past. From above, Amsterdam looks like a spider web of water and land, with bridges connecting the different parts of the city. Life in Amsterdam revolves around its different neighborhoods, each with its own feel. The Canal Ring area has the picture-perfect waterways and historic houses that visitors love to photograph. The Jordaan, once home to working-class families, now has cozy cafes, small art galleries, and weekend markets. De Pijp is more diverse with restaurants from around the world and the busy Albert Kuip market. Across the water in Amsterdam Noord, old factories have become creative spaces for artists and startups. You can easily travel between these areas using the city's trams, buses, or like the locals do, by bicycle. The Netherlands is famous for its bikes. In fact, the country has more bicycles than people, with over 23 million bikes for its 17.7 million residents. In Amsterdam alone, there are an estimated 881,000 bicycles. Cycling is more than just transportation, but a way of life here. The flat landscape makes biking easy, and there are dedicated bike lanes everywhere. You'll see everyone on bikes: business people in suits, mothers carrying multiple children, students, elderly people, everyone cycles. Besides bikes, the Dutch have an excellent public transport system with trains connecting all cities and towns. Trams and buses run in the cities, and everything is clean, on time, and easy to use. You pay with a special card called the OV chip card that works on all types of transport throughout the country. Getting around the Netherlands by train is simple and convenient. Trains leave from major stations like Amsterdam Centraal every few minutes during busy hours. The Dutch train company, Nederlandse Spoorwegen, runs a reliable service that connects almost every town with more than 50,000 people. Unlike some countries where trains might be infrequent outside rush hour, Dutch trains run regularly all day. You can buy tickets from machines at stations or online. A one-way ticket between Amsterdam and Rotterdam costs about 16 euros in second class. For comparison, the minimum hourly wage in the Netherlands is about 12 euros, so transport is reasonably affordable for most people. The well-preserved historical buildings in Dutch cities show the country's rich trading history and the wealth from the 17th century Golden Age. In Amsterdam, the narrow canal houses have a practical design that adapted to space limits and tax rules based on building width. Across the Netherlands, you'll notice typical Dutch features like stepped gable roofs, decorative doorways, and large windows. These big windows reflect the Dutch preference for natural light and their surprising habit of leaving curtains open so passers-by can look in. A practice so common that there's even a Dutch word for houses designed to let sunlight pass through from front to back. Doors-on houses. Most Dutch people embrace this openness, rarely closing their curtains during the day. This architectural transparency shows broader cultural values of honesty and the famous Dutch directness in communication. What often catches visitors' attention is the remarkable beauty of Dutch women. Tall, naturally blonde, with striking blue or green eyes and clear skin, Many Dutch women have a distinctive Nordic-influenced look. The Dutch are among the tallest people in the world, with the average woman standing at 170 centimeters and many much taller. This height, combined with an active lifestyle centered around cycling and a preference for natural rather than heavy makeup, gives Dutch women athletic yet feminine figures. Dutch women are also known for their confidence and straightforward way of speaking, carrying themselves with a self-assured style that adds to their physical attractiveness. In cities like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and The Hague, you'll see these beautiful women cycling through the streets in all weather, somehow looking effortlessly stylish, whether dressed for work or leisure. The Netherlands as we know it today began to take shape when the Dutch fought for independence from Spanish rule in the late 16th century. This led to the Dutch Republic in 1581. This new state quickly became powerful in global trade during the 17th century, or the Dutch Golden Age, when trade, science, military strength, and art all flourished. The Dutch were excellent sailors and set up colonies and trading posts around the world, from New Amsterdam, or better known now as New York, to Indonesia, South Africa, and the Caribbean. After the Napoleonic Wars, the modern Kingdom of the Netherlands was established in 1815. Today, the country is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary system and is known as one of the most democratic and progressive nations. It was a founding member of what would become the European Union in 1958 and adopted the euro as its currency in 2002. One of the most shocking facts about the Netherlands is its relationship with water. About 26% of the country lies below sea level, with the lowest point being 6.76 meters below sea level. For centuries, the Dutch have fought against the sea, creating advanced water management systems dating back to the 13th century. The famous Dutch polders, which are areas of land reclaimed from the sea, are incredible examples of engineering. The massive Zuiderzee works and Delta works, systems of dams, dikes, and barriers built during the 20th century, are considered modern wonders of the world. These projects have not only protected the Netherlands from flooding, but have actually created new land, including the entire province of Flevoland, which was completely reclaimed from the sea. Dutch experts in water management now help countries around the world deal with flooding and water issues related to climate change. The Netherlands' approach to social policies often shocks visitors from more conservative countries. It was the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage in 2001 and has long had progressive policies on other policies. Perhaps most famously, the Netherlands is known for its practical approach to recreational drugs, particularly in Amsterdam, where coffee shops are licensed to sell cannabis in small amounts for personal use. While many tourists think cannabis is fully legal, it actually exists in a carefully regulated gray area of toleration rather than complete legalization. This tolerance policy shows the Dutch practical approach to issues that other countries try to control through strict prohibition. Similarly, prostitution is legal and regulated since 2000, aiming to improve safety and working conditions. The famous Red Light District in Amsterdam, where sex workers display themselves in window rooms lit with red lights, represents a uniquely Dutch approach to regulating an industry that exists worldwide but is rarely acknowledged so openly. This area, known locally as De Wallen, contains about 300 one-room cabins with glass doors where women sit or stand in lingerie to attract customers. The iconic red lights give the district its name and signal to visitors the nature of the business, while many tourists simply walk through to witness this unusual sight. The district serves as a real marketplace for sexual services, with transactions occurring throughout the day and night. Interestingly, the Netherlands has become one of Europe's largest centers for the love industry, with estimates suggesting it generates over €800 million annually. Beyond the visible red light district, there's a vast network of escort services, private clubs, and adult entertainment venues throughout the country. The Dutch approach focuses on harm reduction rather than moral judgment, with sex workers required to register as independent entrepreneurs, pay taxes, and undergo regular health checks. They have access to healthcare, social services, and legal protections, like any other working professional. This regulated environment has made Amsterdam a destination for adults seeking experiences not available in their home countries. The size and scope of the Dutch love industry is substantial, with an estimated 20,000 to 30,000 people working in various aspects of sex work across the country. In Amsterdam alone, about 6,000 people are employed in the industry, making it a significant sector of the local economy. The women in this industry represent diverse backgrounds, with both Dutch natives and workers from other countries. What's particularly striking to many visitors is how matter-of-factly the Dutch approach the subject. There are no signs of embarrassment or shame in public discussions about the love industry. Instead, there's a pragmatic focus on health, safety, and preventing exploitation. This straightforward attitude reflects broader Dutch values of directness and practicality. Beyond the red light district, the Netherlands has also developed a unique niche in sex-positive education and products. The country is home to numerous museums dedicated to sensuality and sexual history, such as the Sex Museum Amsterdam and the Erotic Museum, which attract hundreds of thousands of visitors annually. Dutch companies have become global leaders in designing and manufacturing products for intimate pleasure, exporting these goods worldwide and contributing further to the country's association with progressive attitudes toward human sexuality. This combination of regulated sex work, educational resources, and commercial innovation has cemented the Netherlands' reputation as one of the world's most sexually progressive societies. If you plan to visit the Netherlands, it's good to know some practical things about Dutch society. For example, the banking system is highly digital, and most Dutch people prefer to pay by card rather than cash. The Dutch were quick to adopt tap-to-pay technology, and even small market vendors usually take card payments. Many restaurants and shops in cities don't accept cash at all, as the country moves toward being almost cashless. If you do need cash, ATMs are easy to find in cities and towns, though there are fewer than in the past as digital payments have become normal. Most ATMs work with international cards and have instructions in multiple languages, including English. Alongside payment considerations, it's also important to note that the Netherlands' weather is notoriously unpredictable. The Dutch saying, "If you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes," accurately describes the rapid changes in conditions. Rain can occur suddenly throughout the year, even during summer months. You'll notice that Dutch people are always prepared for rain, often carrying small umbrellas or wearing waterproof jackets. This unpredictability is why you'll rarely see Dutch people dressed for hot weather. Even in July and August, layers are essential. The proximity to the North Sea makes the climate milder than other countries at the same latitude, but the wind can make it feel cooler than the actual temperature, especially in coastal areas and in Amsterdam, with its open canal system creating wind tunnels. Dutch people aren't bothered by rain and continue cycling in weather that would make people in other countries take the bus or drive. As of recent data, the Netherlands has one of the highest minimum wages in the European Union, at about €1,934 gross per month for full-time work. The average monthly take-home pay is around €2,900, with big differences across industries and regions. The technology sector in Amsterdam and the surrounding Randstad region offers particularly good salaries, with experienced professionals in fields like software development or data science often earning €60,000 to €90,000 per year. Income taxes in the Netherlands are among the highest in Europe, with rates from 37% to nearly 50% for top earners. However, these high taxes pay for an extensive social support system, universal health care, excellent public infrastructure, and high-quality education from elementary school through university. The cost of living in the Netherlands varies a lot depending on location, with Amsterdam being much more expensive than other Dutch cities and towns. Housing is the biggest expense for most residents, especially in cities where demand far exceeds supply. In Amsterdam, monthly rent for a modest one-bedroom apartment in the city center can easily be over €1,500, while similar places in cities like Utrecht or Rotterdam might cost between €900 and €1,200. Beyond housing, daily expenses such as groceries, eating out, and entertainment are generally similar to other Western European countries. Dutch people typically spend around €300 to €400 monthly on groceries for one person, shopping at both supermarkets and specialty shops, or twice-weekly markets where fresh produce, cheese, and flowers are sold directly by producers. One shocking aspect of Dutch society that often surprises visitors is the exceptional work-life balance. The Netherlands has one of the highest rates of part-time employment in the world, with about 50% of the Dutch workforce working less than 36 hours per week. This isn't because jobs are scarce, but reflects a cultural preference for balancing work with personal time. The Dutch concept of niksen, the art of doing nothing, is valued as a legitimate way to spend free time. Very different from the constant hustle celebrated in countries like the United States. Many Dutch employment contracts include 30 days of vacation, which, combined with national holidays, gives workers plenty of time away from work. Dutch labor laws strongly protect this balance, with employers generally not allowed to contact employees during off hours except in real emergencies. This approach to work has helped the Netherlands consistently rank among the world's happiest countries, with Dutch children particularly noted for their high levels of well-being and life satisfaction. Another shocking fact about Dutch society is how many languages people speak. While Dutch is the official language, about 90% to 93% of the population speaks English as a second language, with very high fluency levels. English is taught from early elementary school, and many university programs are offered entirely in English, especially in technical and business fields. Beyond English, many Dutch people also speak German, French, or Spanish as third or fourth languages. This multilingualism comes from both practical needs as a small country and the Dutch education system's focus on global citizenship. Visitors are often surprised to find they can speak English virtually anywhere in the Netherlands, from sophisticated cities to small rural villages, with Dutch people often switching to perfect English upon hearing a foreign accent. The Dutch relationship with water goes beyond flood control to recreation and daily life. With about 6,000 kilometers of navigable waterways, including canals, rivers, and lakes, water activities are an important part of Dutch culture. Ice skating has historic significance, with the famous Elfstedentocht, or 11 Cities Tour, which is a 200-kilometer skating race through Friesland province, holding almost mythical status in Dutch culture. In summer, swimming, sailing, and boating are popular national pastimes. Even urban planning includes water features not just for looks, but as key parts of community spaces. The Dutch approach to swimming safety is particularly thorough, with swimming lessons being nearly universal and considered an essential life skill in a country where water is everywhere. Most Dutch children earn multiple swimming diplomas by age 10, learning not just basic swimming, but also how to swim fully clothed and perform basic water rescue techniques. Practical skills for a nation where falling into a canal is always a possibility. Another aspect of Dutch life that reflects their practical, no-nonsense approach is their traditional cuisine. Dutch cuisine might not have the international reputation of French or Italian food, but it has its own distinct character. Traditional Dutch foods tend to be hearty and straightforward. The most famous dish is stampot, mashed potatoes mixed with vegetables like kale or carrots and topped with a smoked sausage called rookworst. Seafood is important in Dutch cuisine, particularly herring, which is often eaten raw with onions as nieuwe herring when the new catch arrives in late spring. Street food culture thrives with options like stroopwafels, thin waffle cookies filled with caramel syrup, poffertjes, small fluffy pancakes, and friet, Dutch fries, served in paper cones with mayonnaise. The Netherlands also embraced cuisines from its former colonies, particularly Indonesian food, with rijsttafel, rice table, a Dutch adaptation featuring numerous small dishes, being popular in restaurants throughout the country. This colonial culinary legacy represents just one example of how the Netherlands' trading history has shaped its culture over centuries, bringing influences from around the world to this small European nation. This same trading spirit that brought exotic foods to Dutch tables also transformed the country in other unexpected ways. The Netherlands is famous for its flowers, particularly tulips, which weren't always associated with Dutch culture. Although not native to the country, as they were imported from Turkey in the 16th century, tulips became so valuable during the Dutch Golden Age that they created the world's first economic bubble called tulip mania, when bulb prices soared to extraordinary levels before crashing in 1637. Today, the Netherlands produces around 4.3 billion tulip bulbs annually, accounting for about 60% of global production. The most spectacular place to see tulips is Keukenhof Gardens, open for just 8 weeks each spring. Covering 32 hectares, the gardens display more than 7 million flowering bulbs. Beyond tulips, the Netherlands is the world's largest flower exporter, with the famous Dutch flower auction in Aalsmeer handling approximately 20 million flowers daily from around the world before shipping them globally. The flower industry represents a fascinating blend of Dutch trading history, agricultural innovation, and business efficiency that continues to thrive in the modern era. This talent for commerce and celebration of color doesn't just appear in the flower fields and auction houses, it explodes into public view during the Netherlands' most beloved holiday. One of the most unique Dutch traditions is King's Day Koningsdag, celebrated on April 27th. The entire country transforms into a massive orange-colored street party and open-air market. What makes this tradition particularly special is the Vrijmarkt or free market, where normal trading laws are suspended and anyone, including children, can sell items without a permit. Amsterdam's population nearly doubles during this celebration as visitors join locals in canal-side parties, outdoor concerts, and street performances. The canals fill with boats packed with revelers dressed in orange, the color of the royal house of Orange-Nassau. Though chaotic, King's Day showcases Dutch organizational skills. Despite massive crowds and alcohol consumption, the event remains remarkably safe and good-natured, with minimal police intervention required. This surprising orderliness during what appears to be chaos reveals something fundamental about Dutch character that extends far beyond this single celebration. That character trait becomes immediately apparent in everyday interactions with locals. A shocking fact about Dutch society that often surprises visitors is the famous directness in communication. The Dutch value honesty and straightforwardness to a degree that can seem blunt or even rude to people from other cultures. They don't beat around the bush or use polite euphemisms. If they think something looks bad, they'll tell you directly. This directness extends to all areas of life, from business meetings where disagreements are openly discussed to social situations where Dutch people might comment on personal matters like your weight or appearance. While initially jarring, many visitors come to appreciate this transparency once they understand it comes from a place of respect rather than rudeness. As you walk through Dutch cities, observing these straightforward interactions, another striking observation becomes unavoidable. The striking beauty of Dutch women is impossible to miss, whether they're cycling to work, managing businesses, or enjoying cafe terraces. What makes these women even more remarkable is that their beauty is complemented by progressive gender roles. The Netherlands was one of the first countries to achieve high levels of gender equality, though in a distinctively Dutch way. Dutch women have high workforce participation rates, but often choose part-time employment to balance their careers with family life and personal interests. In dating and relationships, Dutch customs reflect broader cultural values of equality. Women commonly split bills on dates, make the first move, and maintain strong independence within relationships. This combination of physical attractiveness and independent thinking makes Dutch women particularly interesting to visitors from countries with more traditional gender expectations. However, most international visitors come to the Netherlands for very different reasons. Tourism in the Netherlands has traditionally focused on Amsterdam, with its museums, canals, and liberal reputation attracting over 20 million visitors annually before the pandemic. Dutch authorities have recently taken steps to spread tourism more evenly throughout the country, promoting destinations like Utrecht with its medieval center and unique canals, Den Bosch with its beautiful Gothic cathedral and special local pastries, and Giethoorn, a fairy tale-like village where roads are replaced by canals and travel is by boat or on foot. The famous tulip fields around Keukenhof Gardens draw visitors during the spring flowering season, while the Wadden Islands off the northern coast offer natural environments that contrast with the densely populated mainland. Another must-visit location in Amsterdam is the Anne Frank House, where the Jewish diarist hid from Nazi persecution during World War II. The preserved hiding place behind a bookcase and Anne's original diary create a powerful emotional experience that millions visit each year. After such a moving and often sobering museum experience, many visitors seek to process their thoughts and feelings in one of Amsterdam's many welcoming cafes or bars. Additionally, the Netherlands is also famous for its beer culture, with Heineken, Amstel, and Grolsch being internationally known brands. However, there's also a thriving craft beer scene, particularly around traditional Belgian-style beers and modern innovations. Dutch brown cafes, traditional pubs with wooden interiors, offer a cozy place to sample different beers and the traditional bar snack, bitterballen, which are deep-fried, crispy meatballs served with mustard. Beer typically costs between 3 to 5 euros for a standard 0.25-liter glass, which is smaller than in many countries, and most bars serve it with about 2 fingers of foam on top. This isn't a mistake, but the proper Dutch serving style. This brings us to the end of the video. Tap the screen to watch more content like this. Goodbye.